Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting Ski Classics live sessions in front of the biggest ski race in Norway. That is, of course, Birkebeinerrennet. This is the last Grand Classics stage and 11th event on the Pro Tour this season. As always, this live sessions brings you some of the favorites of the race and gives you a chance to know them a little bit better and learn what the expectations are come Birken this Saturday. I'm your host, Teemu Virtanen, and if you're a media rep joining us today, please remember to raise your hand whenever you have a question for any of our stars today, and I will let you in. But let's kick off today's session with the CEO of Ski Classics, David Nilsson, and the race director of Birken, Otto Olsen. And David, let's get started with you. Of course, sort of in the grand scheme of things, Birken it's one of the most important races. But what really makes it so important? It's the biggest race in Norway. It's very important for Ski Classics, but not just for Ski Classics, for skiing in general.
First of all, the race is extraordinary when you go over two mountains, and the nature on a good day, so to say, is unbelievably beautiful. And from a race perspective for the athletes, we will of course speak with them later on in this show. But it is one of the most prestigious events to win. And this season, like most season, we don't have a Grand Slam winners. This is the last chance to win a Grand Classics event. So this race means a lot extra for the skiers, that it's winning a Grand Classics event a season. It's kind of means you did have a good season. So to go into the summer training with a Grand Classics event win in store, that means a lot for them. So they are really focused for the Saturday to come.
Indeed, they are. And Otto, when you think about the race, I know that you guys have really done a good job there, worked really hard on the plan A, so to speak. But the conditions right now, I mean, where are you guys at?
Hello, thank you very much. Yeah, we have had a rather long period with mild weather, and snow was seeming to disappear. But now the cold is back, and a lot of people have done a great work to get the track back to the normal, as you call it, plan A. So the start will be at the arena as normal, and the finish will be at Birkebeinerrennet ski stadium in Lillehammer as planned also.
And you have a really good number of registered skiers right now as well. And the interesting thing about this race is that they actually have to carry a backpack. But can you tell a little bit more about that?
Oh, that's a long story. This is a traditional race. So it goes back to the year 1200, around where the Baglers tried to kill the prince Håkon Håkonsen. So the Birkebeiners, they had to carry him in a backpack from Lillehammer to Rena. And that's the story behind the backpack, actually.
And it's a 3.5 kilos, isn't it?
3.5 kilos symbolized not. I suppose it's not the weight of the prince, because then it was rather small, but it symbolized the weight of the prince. So that's why everyone need to carry this backpack.
And you have to have certain things in the back.
Yeah, as mentioned from David, you are crossing the mountains, several mountains, up to about 900 meters above sea level. So the condition can change quickly, and you need to have both windproof jackets, and you need to have warm underwear. You need to have extra headwear and whatever, gloves, and also some food. So that's the story behind the backpack today then. So it's for safety reasons.
For safety reasons. And I think that's a good segue for you, David, to talk about the course a little bit, of course. And so as the interesting profile that we have for this race.
Yeah, of course. And the Birkebeiner course starts in Rena at the Tingstadsjordet, and then it goes directly from the start uphill, and it's a quite tough first 20k. It's first up to the Dølfjellet, and then a little bit downhill, and then you come up again to the first iconic climb of Raudfjellet. And so it's a really tough start of the race, and then you have a downhill down to Karstad, and from that once again up the second mountain up to Mittfjellet, and then you have done about 34 kilometers of the course. And there is a normal climb, not an iconic one. And from then you pass the Eksjöhus, and of course with all the crowds and usually a lot of people there cheering. It's fantastic place for cross-country skiing in general to see and to pass through. And then it's a steep downhill, which can be sometimes tricky, especially maybe this year. It can be quite a tricky downhill to the stadium in Lillehammer. And in Lillehammer they have made some small changes. Maybe Hans Otto, you can tell a little bit more about the small changes before the finish line.
Yeah, we had the special circumstances last year that we need to move also to another day, and we had an extra curve or extra round there back at Birkebeinerrennet ski stadium. But this year we go back to the traditional and iconic Daehlie and we are coming to the finish. So when you're coming into the arena, you go across Daehlie and the normal curves to the finish, which is the same like last year.
Thank you, guys. Then questions for Hans Otto and David. Please go ahead. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead. Your turn.
Hello, Hans Otto.
Hello.
How many participants do you expect to have on Saturday, and how is that compared to last year?
It's really good news that we have an increase. So for the Saturday's race, we are now around 9,000 participants, and for the whole weekend, we hope for 14,000 people.
And how is that compared to last year?
It's an increase around 20% from last year. But the interesting is that 40% are doing the race for the first time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. More questions for David or Hans Otto?
And Teemu, I can add that to what Hans Otto said, that you told me before, that it's also an increase of young skiers, which I think is really interesting, that it's a lot of new generation skiers coming to Birken, which is really positive.
Yeah, it is.
So Hans, is there some kind of a boom going on in your country in terms of cross-country skiing? Because I know it's sometimes a little bit of a roller coaster, up and down.
Yeah, it goes up and down, as you say, but no, I think that to do something together with your friends, to have a plan, to train together and set a goal, I think that's much behind this.
And David, this is a question that I have asked you before, and also before Vasan. But since Birken is an iconic race, and you look back, and there's probably many stories to tell. But if you just had to pick one memory from Birken, something a little bit different, maybe, what comes to your mind?
I don't know if it's different, but I think the Petter Eliasson and the race when he won, that was really impressive, I think. So that comes to mind, on my top of mind when you ask me.
And that was the race when he beat, when he was actually double poling and beat the Sundby, Martin Jonsby Sundby, who actually had kickbacks. That was, I think it was 2015, if I remember correctly. So, Anders Blomqvist, do you still have a question?
Yeah, one more for Hans Otto. Is there anything in the weather forecast that worries you, or are you 100% confirmative that you will be able to do the race?
Yeah, as I said, the last days has been colder. This morning it was approximately -5 at the start and also -5 at the finish. So and only a little bit wind up in the highest mountains, like Raufjell, for example. It's always blowing up there. But the conditions looks very good. The course will be very quick. So maybe we'll go for a record. I don't know, but if they decide, it will be very fast conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist, and that'll be exciting to see if they really decide to go that fast, but that remains to be seen. But thank you, guys. Thank you, David, and thank you, Hans Otto. Good luck there, and we are really excited about seeing the race on Saturday. And Thank you. And we move on to the next skier, the first skier, Emil Persson from Lager 157 ski team. Good to have you here. Are you here, Emil?
Hello.
Hello. Can we see you?
I have my camera on.
You have your camera on, but I
Yeah.
don't. Okay, I don't see you.
I see myself here, but I don't know. You hear me?
I can hear you really well.
Yeah. I
but
don't know.
We can't really see you.
Try again.
Now we do see you. Good.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Now we see you.
There's nothing new to see.
Yeah, it's always good to see. It's always good to see you. Of course, speaking of which, I mean, I assume you are really doing well right now. Really good race at Vasaloppet, second there. Good for your team. You kind of found your mojo. But how do you feel right now in front of Birken? Are you now more confident? You think that you are finally stepping back?
Yeah, it was a nice race, Vasaloppet. That it meant a lot to the team and for me. Like you said, like I know I'm really good right now, so looking forward to Birken now. So I haven't done anything crazy, so I think I will be quite good this weekend too.
But it'll be a different type of race and different course and all that. Strategy wise, what are you expecting?
Yeah, it's a very simple race, strategy wise. With the first hour is just uphill, so you have to be really strong in the first part and have good skis, and so it's easy to put out the race plan, is to be in the front and stay in the front as long as possible. Then I think it's gonna be a good race, a good day.
Well, it sounds simple, but it never is, of course, when we talk about ski racing. But questions for Emil? Anders Blomqvist.
Hey, Emil.
Hello.
How has your body been after the Vasa? How has your training been, and how's your feeling?
It's been quite good. Last week it was a little bit up and down. Good one day and a little worse one day, and so just to balance that and take it more easy this year than the last years. So I think I will have more energy left now for the last part of the season. And this week I just done one longer session and one interval to just like stay there to have a good fitness.
What do you think about Birkebeinerrennet? You have been on the podium, but you've also been races a little bit below your normal standards. What do you think about the race and so?
Yeah, I have good memories from that year when I was up on the podium. I felt really strong, and other years I've been quite bad and tired, and had to let the race go after like 10 kilometers, so doesn't have day then. But so it's easy now to you just have to have the body and feel strong and be strong in the first uphill. So if I'm having a good day there should be no problem.
I'm sure of that. Last question. It seems like it's going to be a fast race with hard conditions. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like every conditions if I have good skis. I can compete in slow conditions too, but yeah, it's nice to go fast race in high pace. A lot of things happen, so it's a little bit more tactic than I think.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist, and then Jakob Hård. You also have a question.
Yes. Hey, Emil. It's very tight this year in the top of the men's overall standings. You are number 3, but realistically there are 5-6 guys that can still win the yellow jersey in the end. How do you see your chances, and how do you see your contenders' chances with 4 races left?
Yeah, it's very special. It's a very tight race, like you say, and it's very interesting. So I didn't think I would have anything to do with it after January, but yeah, I've done some good races now in the last weekend. So yeah, climbing up there to the podium right now. So I'm hoping and I'm aiming to climb 2 steps more this upcoming races. And yeah, I have done better and better races, like from Jeseriska, Orsa, and Larsson. So they've been really, really good. So I'm hoping and I'm aiming to stay up there these races and be on the podium every races now. So then I will have good chances. So I think it's gonna be a tight fight up till the last race in Senja, because yeah, it's so small gap between the top 6.
And does that in any way affect the tactics? I mean, if you might have one strategy to go for a win in a race, and you might have a slightly different tactic to play safe and be like top 3 or top 5. Will that in any way affect how you and do you think others will do the races?
Yeah, I think that can affect the race, especially like the last weekend race and Summit to Senja. But yeah, Birken, it's a lot of points in that race, so you have to be like in the top. So this, yeah, Birken and Bode I will go for the win for sure. If you go for the win, I think it's gonna be a good results anyway. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting how I'm planning to do it and how the other guys plan to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then Adela, you also have a question there. Please go ahead.
Hi, Emil.
Hello.
At the finish of Vasaloppet, you congratulated Alvar very warmly. Also, in 3rd place was your friend Max. It was really impressive. What do you think about your Swedish dominance?
Yeah, it was. I think it was many years they were a top 3 Swedish guy in Vasaloppet, so it was special. But of course, my teammate and I were racing for the team, so that was a really big that we had one too. That is what's count for Lager 157. So, but for sure for the Swedish people, it was interesting. And they showed the level of and how much the Vasaloppet means to Sweden.
Yes, it sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adela, and thank you, Emil. And I know that you're shooting for another podium place there at Birken, so let's see if that happens. Good luck there, and good luck for your team.
Thank you.
And we are moving on to Anikken Gjerde Alnes from Team Engcon. Hey, how are you doing now?
I'm doing great.
Good. Have you recovered mentally and physically from the tough Vasaloppet race?
Yeah, that didn't take long, so I was in training pretty fast. So I've been feeling good after the Vasa, better than ever. So I think I'm prepared for the Birkie.
Were you surprised that Stina Nilsson was so strong, at Vasan?
No, she's really she had a good day, good skis, like everything was perfect that day, and I don't think anyone would expect her to pull out that card of the hat. But anyway, she was strong that day, and no one could do anything about it. And she's super strong. Everyone knew that she's good at keeping up the guys' pace, so it wasn't that surprising. But that she got that big of a gap was a little bit surprising.
And you will have the strong day on Saturday, or what do you feel? Or how do you feel?
So I haven't had like the best experiences in Birken the past few years because of a lot of illness. So I think I'm in a better position right now. I feel good. I've been training everything that I planned, and like every other race, I feel like I'm in a good place.
That sounds great. And then questions for Anikken. Max Östlund, please go ahead.
Hello, Anikken. I want to continue on the thing that Teemu said earlier about Vasaloppet. Do you think that we need a separate start for women in Vasaloppet, or do you think it is fair conditions right now?
It's not fair if everything is about the start. So if you're in a good group, it's beneficial, but it's also up to you to be getting a good start, getting a good uphill. Is a little bit of a different tactics, so it's a good addition. But I think it will be a different race if we would have had a separate women's start. But I don't think that would change when I'm skiing. Maybe in the future, but Vasaloppet is what it is. Everyone knows about it, and it's just to prepare accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. And then Anders Blomqvist, you also have questions.
Hey, Anikken.
Hi.
Your season has been so impressive and so strong. Did I heard you right telling us that you are better than ever now? I mean, your shape for the season.
No, like my shape has been like, I think the same during this year. I've had like some tops and no like pretty bad feeling at all. I've felt pretty much the same in between the races, and I think that's a good position to be in, and not getting the biggest highs and not the lowest lows. So I don't think I'm in a better place now than in the Vasaloppet, but I feel good, and that's a good feeling, and I feel confident.
Sounds good. The reasons that I mean you are an improved skier this season. You told us that the results in Birkebeinerrennet hasn't been so good for you. Was it mainly because of the illness, or do you think the track doesn't suit you very well? And does that also, if that's the case, also includes the new Anikken that we have been learned to watch this season?
I think like for every year you do long distance, you get stronger. And I think I needed some more years than others to accomplish and feel a little bit better and get stronger. But I also think that if you get sick during the season, it's such a packed program, so you don't really have time to train yourself back. And then we can see that on a lot of great athletes this year that don't compete or isn't back on the level they are on their best. So I think you don't have time to get sick. That's one thing. And the other is that as many years you get on your back, you're getting stronger.
Yeah, for sure. Last question. It seems like it's going to be a fast race, and the downhill from Eksjöhus down to Lillehammer can be challenging sometimes. I know you're a good downhill skier, but does that worry you, or do you feel confident that your knee works like you want it to do?
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid of that. I love like faster conditions. So, and I think I could do the downhill from Eksjöhus to Lillehammer blind, if I could say that. I raced the Birken since I was 10 years old, so I know that downhill pretty well, and I know the fast curves. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be that fast as they say. The snow up here is fast, but it's going to get cold, and it's a little bit warmer down in Rena and Lillehammer, but it's pretty cold up in the mountains, so we'll see. It's also been snowing pretty good today, which was not on the forecast. So the mountain will show us what weather we are getting on Saturday. So it could be snow, even though it's supposed to be good weather.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist, and thank you, Anikken. And let's see what the Saturday brings along. And good luck there.
Thank you.
And we move on to the next one, Silje Øyre Slind from Team Aker Daehlie. Hey,
hello.
Silje.
Hi.
Hello. So then the same question for you as well. I mean, how have you recovered from Vasaloppet, and how do you feel now in a little bit after that tough fight there, of course?
Yeah, I feel like the Vasaloppet really took a toll on me this year. I've been struggling a bit with my back afterwards, like just muscular lockups. So I hope I'll be ready on Saturday and time will show.
But are you happy with the results now after a little bit time has passed?
Yeah, of course, I wished to be second since I was in a good position into the last finish, but otherwise podium is good. So it's not about that. It's just a little bit sour to lose the sprint in the end.
But now you have a chance to win the race on Saturday. But questions for Silje? Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Silje.
Hi.
What do you think about Birkebeiner? How important is that race for you, and how do you like the tracks for the course?
Of course, it's one of the biggest races for the season, and I like the course there usually. So it's a race I'm looking forward to ski.
Have you been doing it since you were little, or is it the senior experience for you?
No, for me, I've done it, I think, 3 times earlier. So for me, it's more of a senior experience, but I know the course pretty well anyway. So I think it's going to be okay.
Okay. Last question. Will your sister Astrid join Ski Classics when the World Cup season is over, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think the plan is to ski the last races in the Ski Classics. As long as she have the energy to do it, which I think she will. She loves to ski the Ski Classics, so I think she's looking forward to the last weekend anyways.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. Then more questions for Silje? Well, while we wait, Silje, I have one for you. Tactic-wise, okay, there's a bit of speculation on the conditions, but what are you expecting?
Tactic-wise or condition-wise?
Yes, tactic-wise. Tactic-wise.
Tactic-wise, I expect it will be a really tough start, like similar to Vasaloppet. I think it's a lot of uphills in the beginning, and we'll see if it becomes a group, like it has the last couple of years. And if it does, I think the group will stay together until the last long uphill up Midtfjellet, and there's going to be all out to be on the first on the top, I think, and try to get away from the pack as early as possible, I guess, up that hill.
Okay, and then Ingeborg Schäbe, you have a question.
Yes, I thought I asked it or raised my hand earlier, but apparently it didn't raise. So anyway, Silje, it was really fun to watch you at Vasaloppet. But what was it like to race there, knowing that Astrid was doing her race in Trondheim just a few hours after? What was the feeling you had when you were on the track doing your race?
During the race, I focused mainly on my own race, but the week coming up until Vasaloppet, and of course the hours afterwards, were very exciting and nerve-wracking, as I knew that she was going to do her biggest race of the career that week, following week. So, but during the race, I just kept focusing on my own race.
You're actually able to like block out the whole thing, because how absurd is it that you were, I mean, literally going for the podium in your race, and she was going for the podium, both on the biggest stage of what's your sport?
Yeah, during the race, I had more than enough just coping and skiing as fast as I could, and try to catch up with Anikken in the beginning, and then just try to ski as fast as we could from there. So I didn't have a lot of time really focusing on Astrid during the race, but coming into the finish line, of course, it made an impact thinking about her being on the start right afterwards. And yeah, I know she's a bit disappointed for her own part after the World Championships, but I'm proud of her anyways.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Ingeborg, and thank you, Silje, very much, and good luck there. Let's see if you can repeat the feat and be on a podium again on Saturday. Good luck for you and for your team.
Thank you.
And we're moving on to Jenny Larsson, Lager 157 ski team. Hello, Jenny.
Hi.
Good to have you. Good to have you here. So far, you've been having a really good season, except, well, Vasaloppet wasn't really much to write home about, as the expression goes. But how do you feel about it, and what really happened there?
Yeah, what happened? I I still don't know actually. I think it was many factors. Maybe like minus skis in the beginning. Definitely a really bad day also in the body. Bad day shape, or how you say it. And then in the end, I also think it was a bit stressed. Just really see that this is not the day I dreamt or hoped for or thought was, also realistic to aim for. I didn't dream of being 15. So it's just a day I want to forget and move on.
How do you cope with something like that? Because, as you said, it wasn't something you expected.
Well, I mean, it's just you have to move on. Try to do an analysis, and I think I had great help with that from people close to me, and also from Anton and the team. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't getting you forward to just stay in that feeling and don't let it go.
Yeah, just can't mull over it too much. But questions for Jenny. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
How have you been feeling after Vasaloppet with your body and trainings-wise?
I really thought that I was going to be sick. I really didn't feel on top of the world. I mean, like more bad physical than I usually am after Vasalopp. I mean, I don't think anyone is like waking up the day after Vasaloppet and feeling good. But this year I was more tired than usual, and also in the head. It's always tough days, realizing that the biggest day that you have been training for a year is over, and especially if it didn't go as planned. But I mean, by the end of last week, I thought that the body was starting to respond again, and also my head. So this week, I think I've been feeling good, and especially the last 2 days. So I'm hopeful for the weekend.
Great. Your season has been really, really strong. You haven't so much experience from Birkebeinerrennet and not maybe as good as you could have done. What do you think about this race and the new Jenny that we've seen this season? Maybe an even better climber than before. What do you think about the race?
Birken has never been a favorite of mine. I only finished it once, so it's one of the races I'm really have heard bad call at. But this year I'm feeling really a strong revenge, and I think I have shown that I manage these uphill starts. I mean, look at Jisaska for an example. So, but I really come with an open mind. It's going to go really fast in the uphill, but I really want to show for myself that Vasaloppet was just a bump in the road, and I think it's also a huge difference starting only with girls.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist. Any more questions for Jenny? Well, I have one, since you mentioned that Birken isn't really the one that you have that much experience or like that much, but what kind of a race would suit you the best in terms of tactics, pace, and so forth?
Oh, good question. Maybe not the fastest starting uphill. I think if I am with the top girls on Fjället, I think I'm going to be dangerous in the end. But I think I manage a fast start as well. So hard to say.
That is really hard to say. That remains to be seen. But good luck there, for Saturday, and let's see how well you can do when the race starts. Thank you. Good luck. And we are moving on to Hanna Sandholt Hansen from Team Naeringsbanken Stora Enso. Hello, good to have you on our show. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, so are you ready for Birken?
Yeah, I hope so. Really excited for Birken.
When you think about your season, you've done quite a lot of races. You did Vasaloppet and most of the races, I think. So how happy or content are you with the season from your own perspective?
I'm really happy with the start of the season. For me, I did well in Valgastein and the races in January. But then I got sick after Marcialonga, so I didn't race in Jizerska. So yeah, on my level, I've been pretty happy.
And what is your big grand goal, for this season or seasons to come?
Well, the goals for this season was definitely Vasaloppet and Birken. In Vasaloppet, I broke my pole and didn't get the best result that I wanted, but I'm really eager to get a better race in Birken.
Well, that remains to be seen. Then questions for Hanna. So while we're waiting, can you tell us about your team a little bit? Because this, I think, is the first time we have someone from your team in our session.
Yeah, my team, Team Naeringsbanken Stora Enso. We are located in Lillehammer, where Birken is taking place. So yeah, I really like my team. We have a good team spirit, and it's my first year on this team, so I've been able to learn a lot from the other guys, and it's been really fun.
And Jakob Hård, you have a question.
Yes, hello, Hanna. How do you think that Birken suits you? Is it a race that you like? That is that you have the right qualities for, or how do you look at it?
I think Birken suits me well. I did good there last year, and I like the uphills at least better than the flats. So yeah, I hope I can do well this year as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then Ingeborg, you have a question?
Yes, I know that your team has a big tradition of developing really good skiers who then move on to other teams. Is this do I remember right? Is this your first year with this team?
Yeah, this is my first year with the team.
And you expect to get headhunted? Do you expect to get headhunted at the end of the season?
Maybe don't expect it after this season, but I've been developing with this team, so I hope to continue my development. So we'll see.
Okay, well, so does it feel like the people on your team, I mean, like they got on to be great skiers. I mean, moved on to really big teams. How does that like affect the environment on your team? Is it like a dream for your team management that they develop skiers that go on to do the great things?
Yeah, we have talked about it that there have come a lot of good skiers out from our team. So yeah, it's an opportunity to get to train with the talented people along my team, and I just really want to take step by step and see where it takes me.
Cool. We're looking forward to seeing you in Lillehammer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ingeborg. And thank you, Hanna, and good luck there. Let's hope that you'll do well and enjoy your day on the tracks on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And we are moving on to Jeremy Royer from Team Eksjöhus. Hello, Jeremy.
Hey.
Hey, so I assume that you are also ready for Birken. And if so, what have you done lately?
Yeah, I hope I'm ready for Birken. I trained well after Vasa, so I hope my shape is very good for this weekend.
Speaking of Vasaloppet, were you happy with your performance there?
No, I'm not super happy about my performance. My shape is really good in Vasa, and my first part of race is really good, but after I changed my belt, I lose the first group, and I try to work very hard with my teammate Eric to catch the first group. And in Augsburg, I broke a pool. So after that, my race is finished. And so now I'm not super happy about my result, but sometimes it's like that.
Well, that kind of goes to show us that anything can happen when you're racing. Lots of small things that can go wrong. Questions for Jeremy? Adela, please go ahead.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey.
You have great season. What do you say that you are still holding the pink jersey?
Yeah, I'm very happy to have the pink jersey. For sure, Amon Riga started very well for the pink jersey, but it's a rule to stay healthy all the season. So now it's me have the pink jersey, and I really hope I can have the pink jersey for the end of the season. But now I need to have a good race to finish the season.
Yeah, and do you think it will be hard? Will it be hard for you to hold the pink jersey in Scandinavia in a long and hard races?
I'm not sure it's really different to have that in Scandinavia than in Europe, but
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Adelaide. And then Max Östlund, you have a question as well, or questions?
Yeah, hello, Jeremy. You broke your pole in Oxberg during Vasaloppet. Can you tell us a little bit about the incident?
It's hard because I don't see what is happened during the race. The guys behind me broke my pole in the turn just before the finishing zone in Augsburg, but I'm not sure what is happened during the race, and they go too fast. And for sure, I'm very not happy after that, but sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah, I understand that. And we saw you skating a little bit, and you also got a verbal warning after the incident. Do you think that was a fair judgment from the jury, or?
Yeah, for sure, it's not good to do that in the race, but I do that one time, and I speak with the jury after, and now I try to stop to do this stupid move.
Yeah, and we also saw you swing your pole, and you got really angry afterwards. Was that the end of your Vasaloppet 2025 journey?
Yeah, after that it's impossible to try to catch the group again because I push 1 kilometer with just one pool. So I lose 2 minutes and it's impossible to catch a big group.
Okay. Sorry to hear that, but good luck in Birken.
Thanks.
And then Jakob Hård, you have a question.
Yes, I wonder, Jeremy, how do you look at Birken? What are the challenges and how does it suit you?
I don't know. Can you repeat the question, please?
I wonder, how do you look at the Birkebeinerrennet? Is that a good race for you? How do you look at it? And what?
Yeah, I really like this race because you have a lot of climb, and I think it's better for me. The track like Birken is more hard than the Vasa track. I think for me it's better, and for all my team it's better to have a lot of climb. So I hope I can work together to have a very good result for the team.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Jakob, and thank you, Jeremy. And make sure that you don't break your pole this time around on Saturday. Good luck there. Take care and drive safely. I can see you're in the car. And then we are moving on to Emilie Fleten, Team Ramudden. Hello, Emilie. Good to see you again.
Hello.
So how are you now feeling after Vasaloppet, which probably wasn't exactly what you hoped for, but have you recovered? Meaning mentally recovered as well.
Yeah, I hope so. Of course, Vasaloppet was a huge disappointment. So trying to, just put my mind off to something else, and trying to reload for the upcoming weekend.
Do you have any particular reason that it didn't go well, or you happened to have a bad day?
Yeah, I think if maybe it wasn't the best skis from the start, so then it's really difficult for us girls you need to have a good start if you're gonna win Vasaloppet, and I didn't. So yeah, then it was a long way to the finish line.
So let's hope you get a good start on Saturday. But questions for Emilie? Jakob Hård, please go ahead.
Hey, Emilie, how has the weeks after Vasaloppet been for you? Has the training gone well? Has the body felt good, or what do you say?
Yeah, I think my body was quite good actually after Vasaloppet. It was really hard for me in the start, but when I realized like the win was out of my reach, I didn't go like full speed, I think, the last part. So maybe Vasaloppet this year wasn't the toughest, but it's been hard mentally to reload and try to find some new energy. But I think my body has felt okay, just a little bit unmotivated maybe last week. So, but this week I just, looking forward to Birken, and it's going to be cool to race again.
The finish of Birken with a long downhill has some years been a challenge for you. I know you have developed your downhill skiing. How do you look at it now?
Yeah, I try to not overthink it. I think the hardest part with that downhill, because I lived in Lillehammer so many years, so I skied that downhill so many times. I think it's just for me, when I'm not the best downhill, but when I'm really tired, I get so bad at just standing in hockey and trying to relax. So hopefully my shape is okay, and hopefully I'm gonna not be so stiff in my legs and try not to be so scared.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. And then Ingeborg, you have a question as well?
Yes, I do. So last year you were on the podium, if I remember right, but you didn't win, and you didn't look super happy after the race. And What's your relationship to Birkie?
Oh, it's I both love it and hate it. No, I skied Birkebeinerrennet a few times now before I become a long distance skiers as well. It's been some hard races and some fun ones, but yeah, last year I was in a small breakaway early and got catched, and then was second in the end, so that was a little bit disappointing. But I think Birkebeinerrennet is suiting me well, so it should be a good race for me. I don't know. It's been both bad and good in Birken, so we'll see what's next. But I never won it, so that's of course is my goal.
So what do you think you have to do with your strengths and weaknesses? What do you think you have to do to win Birkie?
Of course, my strength is uphill, but I was in a breakaway last year and got catched because it's quite long downhills after, so it's really good to be more people in a group so it's not easy to go in a breakaway. And then for me, the last downhill is of course a thing that I have to do better than the last years. But I think in the end, it's all about having enough energy and be strong. So it's tough. The 2 last K is a little bit tough. So we'll see how the race turns out.
You haven't won it. What would it mean to you to win it?
Oh, it would mean a lot. Of course, it's home in Norway and the biggest race in Norway. So it would mean very much. And of course, when Vasaloppet was a failure this year, it would mean even more this year, I think.
So we hope to see you on the top of the podium next Saturday.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ingeborg. And thank you, Emilia. And as Ingeborg said, we hope to see you up there on the podium, and good luck there and fight hard.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Moving on to Andreas Nygaard, Team Ragde Charge. Hello, there you are. I mean, Birken, a race that you usually do really well. Are you ready to win again?
It's for sure I want to be up there, but I think the shape is maybe not as good as it usually is on the Birkie, but it's a race that suits me well, so we will try.
Going back to Vasaloppet, you were there. I mean, 8th place. You were in the kind of the breakaway group, but of course, knowing you, you're not too happy with the result. Or what would you say?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was the breakaway group. It was just the leading group consisting of the strongest guy that day. But yeah, I was not good enough. I had really good skis and no accidents, and everything was cut out for me to make a good finish there. But no gas left on the tank when the race was decided in Moraparken, so that was really disappointing to be that weak, like anemic, almost barely getting over the Auckland Bridge. So it was of course really disappointing, but when people are stronger and just beat you fair and square, it's hard to be too disappointed.
Indeed, that is the name of the game. Questions for Andreas? Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Andreas. You were telling us that your shape isn't super strong. Is there any specific reason for that, or what was your opinion on that?
I guess I just haven't trained well enough or right for my body the last month. It's hard to say why, but sometimes it's just like that. I have also been on a really high level at this time of the year in previous years, so it's getting difficult to like maybe progress or even maintain the same level. So yeah, no big reason. I've been healthy a long time, and yeah, maybe had some small niggles and struggles, but training, yeah, well, really well, I think. So no particular reason for that, but the numbers, they don't lie. So unfortunately, I'm not as strong as I have been in the past.
You have had some struggle with your elbow, I believe. Is that all right now, or is that one of the reasons?
Yeah, I have had some struggle with that. I still do, but I don't think that is the reason. It's not 100%, but I don't feel it is hindering me in any ways. Maybe I don't sprint as much in training or as much double poling in or gym, but it didn't hinder me at all the last in Vasalopp or even now. So I don't think that's the reason. I just think this year maybe I'm not at the level I have been, but yeah, you never know. The tables can turn, and yeah, this hopefully can be that race where it turns.
On the other hand, the last Birkebeiner you have been almost doing like you wanted to. It hasn't been that tough for you. I know it's tough, but you have really had a good. You have it all in your pocket a long time. Do you think even not being in that shape could even take you to another victory?
I think if nobody else is stronger than they have been before, it's still possible to follow the best guys if I have a good or normal day and really good skis. But if someone, and I think people have maybe gotten stronger, if somebody is stronger than previous years, I don't think I will be able to follow.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. And then Ingeborg Skjebe, you have a question.
Yeah, I know that your big goal for this season and for your life was to get the Marcialonga. Has it been difficult or different to muster up the motivation now that you got that one? Has that affected your racing after Marcialonga? Do you think that is a contributing reason?
No, I don't think so. It's hard to tell, but like winning Marcialonga actually gave me a really, really good boost, and I felt actually amazing the week, maybe 2 weeks after Marcialonga, super strong both on the interval sessions and in the day. So I actually think it would have given me a boost, because we top athletes, we are so motivated all the time and we don't do anything else. But for sure, maybe like going deep to the well in races like Orsa is a little bit more difficult, but people like us, when we are on the start line, we are super motivated, and we breathe this from we wake up in the morning and until we go to bed, and all we want is to get stronger and faster, and we do whatever it takes. So I don't think the motivation has had any effect on that.
So do you think if everything works in your if your strategy works in your favor and you wake up having a good day, you can do your fourth straight win on Saturday?
If I don't believe it, then it for sure would be really, really difficult. So I will always believe in proven until proven otherwise. But if I'm 100% realistic, I think there will be guys a little bit stronger maybe than me, and the strategic side of Birken isn't that of a big deal. Maybe if it turns really west, the wind, as it was in in 22 when we were a big group going into a really hard headwind. Maybe that can play some part, but the Birken, there's no strategic. It's only the strongest guy survives in the front, and hopefully I'm one of those guys. I still believe that I'm capable of like following the best guys, but I'm not as confident as I've been the previous years.
So if it's not you, then who wins? What's your bet?
Good question. I think we have seen this year that a lot of guys can win. So I think it depends, of course, on the skis as always, but maybe we'll see some Eksjöhus guys pulling it off finally.
That'll be exciting. We'll see. Thanks.
Thank you, Ingeborg. And Jakob Hård, you also have a question before we let him go.
Yes, about that, this year we have, I think, 9 different winners in 10 races. What is your take on that?
Yeah, it's hard to say anything else than that the playing field has been like increasing and more guys are taking a step forward, and yeah, people are getting stronger and faster. Before we could see Emil winning 10 races in one season, or I guess it was more races, I don't remember. And yeah, Eliasson and Tord and those guys winning a lot of races. So I think just that we see more guys going 100% for the sport, and having the chance with good skis and good teams to fight for the win. As mentioned before, I don't think it's more difficult to win the races compared to previous years, but I think the athletes between number 5 and let's say 30, the level of those guys have just increased tremendously, and the pace is going faster than ever just because of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Andreas. And let's see if you will be crowned the king of Birken again. Good luck there on Saturday. Thank you. And we are moving on to Johan Tjelle, Team Engcon. Hello. Good to see you there. So after Vasaloppen and 4th place there, I mean, how do you feel about that now? Of course, that is the spot that nobody really wants to be in, not on the podium by close.
Yeah, it's the worst place to get, but every other thing about that race I was really happy about, so you can't be too disappointed, I think.
And what are you hoping to achieve this Saturday?
I don't think the race Birkebeinerrennet suit me that well, but it's a new chance, so I will ski as fast as I can and hope to get a good result.
That'll be that. We'll see that. That remains to be seen then. But then questions for Johan. Anders Blomqvist, please go ahead.
Hey, Johan. Oh. You say that the course of Birken doesn't suit you well. That's really surprised me. In my opinion, it really would suit you super. Why do you think it doesn't suit you?
My strongest side is in the second half of the long races, like in Vasaloppet last weekend. I was in group number 3 over the first climb and in like 30th place, so I was just lucky that the race settled down and I managed to get up again, and that has been the case many other times this season. So, and in Birken, Birkebeinerrennet, you need to be good from the start, and often if you are in the lead over the first mountain, you are in the lead in the end as well. So I don't think my start is that good.
Okay, but the climb part suits you well, or are you little bit worried about those two?
I'm not the lightest skier. I'm pretty low in height, but pretty heavy. So I think I will struggle in the climbs. But we've had amazing skis this year, so I look forward to the downhills.
Okay, that surprised me. We'll see who's right. I believe in you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. And then more questions for Johan. Well, since you mentioned good skis there and your team's been performing extremely well, what kind of a tactic have you guys talked about the tactic at all? Assuming that you get the good skis again, what kind of a tactic might you guys cook up with?
Birkebeinerrennet is maybe the race this year with the least tactic. If you're strong, you get a strong result. But we have Ole Jørgen Bruvoll and Johan Hoel, which are strong in the sprint. So if, like Andreas said, it will be a win from the west and a big group, we will go for them in the finish, I think. And Torleif is always offensive. So we have many strings to play, or any other word you can say. Yeah, it's we have many strong members of the team, so we can play our cards good, I think.
And what kind of conditions are you hoping for you and for your team?
Fast conditions is the most fun to race in, and if you have fun when you race, you usually do it well. So I hope that it can be fast.
Could it be even record time, and that would be good for you if it's that fast?
It's difficult to say. I think, yeah, the conditions are really fast now, so it will be exciting.
It'll be really exciting. Thank you very much, Johan. Good luck there. And let's see if you can raise the fourth place a little bit and raise the bar and be on the podium on Saturday. Thank you. Take care. And moving on to our last guest athlete, Max Novak, Team Aker Daehlie. Hello. Good to have you here once again. So now, after a couple of weeks have passed, from Vasaloppet, are you happy with your result, podium there? Not the victory. I know that you were shooting for it.
Yeah, I am. Many people maybe think that I would be disappointed, but yeah, as the race turned out, I'm just happy that I managed to be on the podium, because I maybe believed it for like 2 or 3 times during the race when I felt good, but otherwise I just hope to stay with the big group, and was happy to do that, and then to do almost everything right in the end, or I think I did everything right. It was just that especially Alvar was on another level, so yeah, congrats to him, and I'm happy with the 3rd place.
That amazing Alvar, only 18 years of age. What have you done since Vasaloppet to prepare yourself for this? And what kind of race are you hoping to see on Saturday?
Well, I shifted my focus pretty early on Tuesday and started training, and have done so all of last week. And then, yeah, now I'm in Lillehammer with Peter Stakston, and yeah, just getting some lighter training in and trying to get a good feeling for the big race Saturday.
And are you hoping for a fast-paced race?
Yeah, it sure looks like it. So I wouldn't mind. I just or I don't care so much about if it's fast. I just want it to be like yeah, the same for all. Not too big like ski differences, and just yeah, let the strongest guys fight for it. Maybe not too much wind or like snowing, but it doesn't look like it. So yeah, I just hope for an equal race.
Hopefully good conditions. Questions for Max? Max Östlund, please go ahead.
Hello, Max. We've heard from a couple of other skiers that they think that Birkebeinerrennet is one of the least tactical races. Do you agree with them on that?
Yeah, you could argue that because it's so tough from the start. So yeah, it's mostly just important to get off good. And I think if Johan Tjelle just does his warm up right, he's gonna be really strong opposed to what he was saying himself. So yeah, it's yeah, then it's just the survival of the strongest. Of course, when you get off over Mittfjellet, it's a little more tactical, but it's not very usual that like a team has more than 2 or 3 guys up there. But it could happen this year because some teams are real strong, and if they get the skis right, it could lead to like a big amount of skiers from the same team.
Okay. If you need to choose where your skis will be the fastest, where do you want them to be the fastest?
Yeah, I think I need to have good skis from start because, like we've seen the last 2 years, it's a group that's gotten away from the start, and it's so much time in the first climb and second climb, and that's all like on the same altitude and more or less the same snow. So you need to have good skis on the mountain. Then in the end, it's gonna be super fast. And yeah, I think if you're in a group, I think it's not that hard to stay with the group if you're just off the Sjuksjön, because then of course you need good skis, but it's more decide if you have bad skis from the start, you're not gonna make it.
Okay, thank you and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
Thank you, Max. And then Adela, your turn.
Hi, Max.
Hey.
I would like to ask you one more question to Vasaloppet. At the end of the race, it seemed that you have a bit worse skis than the others. Were you surprised that you were third?
Yeah, I was surprised because I struggled so bad the last. I think from Hökberg and then to the finish, almost like the last 5K, I managed to find some strength and like just stayed in the top of the group. But I don't know about the skis. It was very hard to tell because sometimes I felt I had really good skis and sometimes I felt I had a little worse skis. So and the people I've talked to have like almost said the same, that it varied a lot during the race. But yeah, sometimes a couple of times in the like almost very close to the finish, the last 10K, I felt really good, bad, and like lost the group almost. So I wasn't very hopeful then, but yeah, I managed to just get it right in the end.
Good, impressive. And last year you were third in Birken. Do you feel that you have the shape to repeat that or even better?
Well, I hope for that, but it depends on how good Andreas is. He's the man to beat here for sure after his last year's victories. But I hope to put up a fight at least. I'm not too sure about my shape. I think I peaked in Orsa, unfortunately. But yeah, I think I've been a little like the week after Orsa when I was training for Vasaloppet. That's when I like felt the best actually. So I just hope to turn it around now and get a good end to the season like last year.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adela. And then Anders Blomqvist, your turn.
Hey, Max.
Hello.
Disregarding what you said about the tactics, I believe that Ragde really played all the other racers out the last 10Ks the last years with some really good tactics. Of course, maybe easier when you have Nygaard in the field, but what have you learned from that, and what do you think about tactics the last part of Birken?
Well, 3 years ago, I think Johan Hoel was the one who dragged the group up to me and Andreas. So I wouldn't call that great tactics, but they still won.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I don't even remember because I wasn't in the lead group. But last year, they did it well with Johan and Andreas. And Andreas let Johan go. But I was pretty. My arms were pretty cooked when we got into the last hills there. I had put up a really good fight in the first hill, especially, and I think I paid paid the price for that later. So yeah, of course, we have to be careful for that and not let them be number 1 and 2. That's stupid. So yeah. But we were. I think I was on the limit, like already. Maybe I could have fought for like second place, but I think I wouldn't have a chance on Andreas that day. So yeah, but yeah, if I get in that position again, I'm gonna do it differently for sure.
Last question. I do believe you were the strongest in the first long climb, and when you went up going for it, you pulled out the field and also went fastest. Is that a tactic that you're going to use this year if you're strong, or will you think otherwise this year?
Yeah, as I mentioned, maybe I won't like try and rip the field myself in the same like way. But it depends if I like feel I have really good skis from the start and nobody else is wanting to pull. Yeah, that's maybe I'll have an opportunity to do something, but it's a long way to go after the first climb, so I think I'll have to go a little bit more conservatively. But I hope that other guys will be eager to set a good pace from the start, so I'm not too worried about that.
Thank you, Max.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anders Blomqvist, and then Jakob Hård. Your turn.
Hey, Max.
Oh.
It's a very tight race for the yellow bib, but you are in the best position. Will that in any way affect how you take on Birken and the races to come? And does it in any way affect your team tactics, that your teammates will really do things in the races for you?
Yeah, of course, that would certainly help, but as some before me have mentioned, it's a hard race to do that. Like when it starts into an uphill that goes on for, I don't know, 15 kilometers. So yeah, I'll just have to watch myself the first bit and yeah, try to stay with the leading group. And yeah, about how I'll approach the races, it's like the best way is to like try to win, so that gives you most points, and yeah, that's the best way to defend. So I know last year I had a really strong finish to the season, so if I like do repeat that it will be hard to catch me, I think. But yeah, I had a really good shape last year, but hadn't done so much before that during the season. So we'll see how much I have left of my shape for that.
We're really looking forward to see that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jakob, and then Ingeborg, your turn.
Yeah, really quick. I was wondering, going back to Vasaloppet again, the finish at the Vasaloppet. Did you see Alvar's move coming? I mean, like, did you like what he did from us watching it, seemed like it was something kind of rogue out of left field. Did you see that finish coming?
Like that he would just go. What do you mean?
Or I guess I don't know how to. I guess that's just a figure of saying it, but like what he did, he like pulled past everyone and just like won. I mean, like it was pretty impressive to watch. Did you see that coming? Was that in the back of your head?
No, I wasn't thinking about it because I was just like trying to follow Emil. But if you'd asked me during the race at any point, I would say he would be like the main contender for the win because he looks like he went so easy at all times. I thought maybe he wouldn't like from the start when he looked like so relaxed and just could take gaps as nothing. I thought that maybe he has good skis now. They will like be worse in the finish, but he was real strong and had good skis. So and the way he like could I don't know if it was seen in TV all the time, but a lot of times he just closed gaps like nothing. So
exactly.
Yeah, but it was more like I think the only one who could have like made him not win was himself, and he almost got in that position because he was a bit behind going into the last couple of 100 meters. So, but he just he was so fast that it didn't matter.
Right. So I was also thinking the way that he skis, his way of doing things seems a little bit different than the traditional style, at least from time to time. Does he represent a new way, a new way of doing things in long distance racing, do you think?
I actually not thought about that. It was he just I don't know. He was really fast. That's all I can say.
No, I mean, like in general, like he does things a little bit his own way in races, and this is not the first time he's doing things a little bit that unexpected, I suppose. Or maybe it isn't.
I don't know. You have to be more specific, I think.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. It was just I was just wondering if like the way that his style of his personality as a racer and the way he goes about his racing, does that represent something that's a little bit different from what we've seen in long distance racing traditionally?
I think it's more like he's 18 years old and he won Vasaloppet and that's it.
Okay. That's all right.
That's unique enough, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, thanks.
Thank you, Ingeborg. Indeed, it is quite amazing. But I know that you are all ready for amazing things on Saturday as well, Max. Good luck there on Saturday, and we all expect to see a tough fight as always.
Thanks.
And thank you, everyone joining us. Thank you, all the media people joining us today, all the people watching this, and be ready for Saturday. Really an exciting race ahead of us. I will be commentating it together with Kat Paul. So stay tuned for that. Stay healthy and see you on Saturday. Until then, bye-bye.